what is right. And so I found the entire response so far to be not just lacking, but irresponsible and inept. The other thing is that yesterday for President Biden's, dog and pony show to come in and see photos, he put a 30-mile TFR, which is basically a restriction in the air zone, which means that he actually stopped from 12 o'clock until 4 p.m. He stopped air traffic and helos from transferring supplies, dropping SAR teams, picking up individuals from medevacs. So that was not only irresponsible, but if you're going to come a week later, at least make sure that you're not trying to, hinder in any way further the actual operations that are being led by civilian organizations and veterans such as myself and others that are trying to do what is right. And so I found the entire response so far to be not just lacking, but irresponsible and inept.
I just made an identical video to this one, but I'm going to do it again for you, okay? I live in the middle of Hurricane Alley. I live in Wilmington, North Carolina. I lived through dozens of hurricanes, including Hurricane Florence a few years ago, where we got flooded everywhere in this town, okay? The last thing you need when you're cleaning up after this shit is the president to show up, because with the president comes Secret Service, police escort, Air Force One, all things and people that need the resources that are already depleted. We don't need them to show up. They're doing more good sitting in their office and being on the phone by signing papers, providing financial aid, and helping the governors organize boots on the ground. We don't need them here. It's a pain in the ass and a pressure to accommodate them.
I'll continue to say this until people get it. What's happening in Western North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia is not the same thing as a hurricane hitting Florida. This is in the freaking mountains. They had no warning. They had no idea this was going to happen. None. They need air support. They're people that are missing. They can't get in touch with their family. They have no way of communicating with anyone. They have no electricity. They have no food, water, any way of telling anyone where they are. No, nothing. And they don't have any way to fix it because the roads are washed out and there's no way in or out. People are just stuck. And this happened quickly with no warning. This is in the mountains of Appalachia. There's not hurricane warnings don't affect them. I mean, this is crazy. A lot of people went to sleep and a dam broke a few cities away, and then that led to another dam breaking and another dam breaking, and then next thing you know, their house is washing down the side of the mountain. When you live on the mountain, the only thing you got to worry about is if there's tons and tons of rain for weeks and weeks at a time, then you might have to worry about a mudslide. But never in their wildest dreams did they expect this. There was no warnings. There was no anything. This just happened. People were trapped in their homes with flash flooding. And there's still so many people that are making videos that saying, please help me find my family. Please let me know if they're okay. And I mean, why isn't the government there helping them? They need air support. I mean, before people can even get in to help, they have to have a way to get in. And there's no gas at any of the gas stations anywhere in the area. The entire Western North Carolina is just completely inaccessible except by air. And this is 2 days later. I mean, I don't understand why they're not getting help. I know that they're busy in Florida. This is catastrophic for people that had no time to prepare, no warning, and could have never imagined this in their wildest dreams. I saw one girl say that his funeral was supposed to be this weekend, and the funeral home is completely flooded, completely. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Just having that thought in the back of your mind while all this is going on. Pastures of livestock that just never made it out. And even when they cut them free, there's even pictures of dogs getting set free they were in cages. Government, please send help, send air support, please rescue these people. Get it together because they need help too. There's entire cities that are gone. There is so many people that are unalived. I mean, they can't even get it together to figure that out at this time. There are people that lived through Katrina that now are living in Western North Carolina, and they are comparing this to Katrina. I can't even imagine that. Multiple people are saying that. We pretty much think of Katrina being the worst thing ever. No one's taking it seriously at all. They think just because they're not supposed to be affected by a hurricane that they should be okay. And that's not what happened. And once again, Elon Musk, who is one man, is coming to the rescue way better than our government does. He's positioned his Starlink satellites to where the people in these affected areas can at least get Wi-Fi and be able to call. He literally did that. Our government has done nothing. Just like he had to send a shuttle into space to rescue the people that are stranded there. How is one man doing more than our government is? I mean, I know he's rich, but come on. The government should be doing something. They're the ones with all the planes. There are people that are taking their personal plane and helping. The only help they're getting is from their local resources and people that are using their own personal stuff coming from, the vicinity. National help is not there.
Here's your update from Western North Carolina and our Helene help operations. First of all, some really dumb rules have been implemented, y'all. One of our big shelters and distribution centers, the health department told the refugees, those that are stranded, who've lost everything, that they could not use the shelter showers without flip-flops. Dumbest thing I have ever heard. These people have lost everything, and you won't let them take a hot shower without flip-flops? Oh, well, when I got that call, thank you, friends, and thank you to Larry in Concord who hooked us up at the nail supply place, because we sent 18,000 pairs of flip-flops up to the shelter this morning, where one of my girlfriends took a trailer up so people can take a shower. Those are the kind of rules that don't help in a time of absolute survival disaster. That's number one. Number two is, if you're reading about FEMA online and wondering if they're really a pain in the tail, I can confirm it is true. I tried to send in a pallet of chainsaws 2 days ago, and we had to divert it somewhere away from FEMA because they wanted to confiscate. FEMA, those ain't your chainsaws. Our mountain people are much better with them than y'all are, although I'm sure there's some very fine people that work for FEMA. I'm talking about the organization. But those saws need to be in the hands of the guys on ATVs down in the holler and up on these trees where there are blocked roads where we can get access to our neighbors who are still stranded. This is not a one-time little 5-minute storm. There are people that we have not gotten to yet, and we want to get to them. That's why those chainsaws are up there. So fine, we're going to go around you, FEMA, and don't try to get in the way of North Carolina mountain people when we are trying to take care of each other. You should also know I had a shipment trying to go in last night that got stopped because somebody wanted to inventory it. So we diverted that one elsewhere to get it into the hands of an apartment complex of seniors that had been neglected. So thank you to the friend of mine who alerted me to that complex, and to the other friend who took this load up. And by the way, got to spend the night at the apartment of somebody who was just willing to help out. The biggest thing you have to know here is that neighbors are looking after neighbors. And when FEMA's in the way, don't think you're going to stop us, because that's basically like a Satan roadblock, and God will find a way because God always wins. The other thing I want y'all to know is that we do have support from all over the country. We've got NYPD, fire departments, we've got linemen and emergency personnel, and we in North Carolina are very grateful that you have chosen to come help us. So thank you to them, but boo to the government agencies that want to get in the way. And by the way, got to add one more thing. The announcement today that this little tiny piddling amount of money is going to go to people impacted by this storm. Are you kidding me? I told y'all before, you cannot eat money or drink money. Why are we not seeing massive supply drops come in? And I mean massive. The government is run by my taxpayer dollars and your taxpayer dollars. They are a net consumer, not a producer. So whatever they're throwing out there comes from me. As a taxpaying citizen, DC, quit trying to buy us off, because you can't buy us for $750 anyway. How about you send in the water we need, send in some ATVs, send in some more chainsaws and fuel, and let us take care of our people and get out of the way, because Western North Carolina is going to pull through this whether you get in our way or not.
Quick little Appalachia update. So first and foremost, I had to take a couple of my videos down because I made them while I was at work, and I currently work in a government facility, so whoops. But that doesn't take away from the main purpose here. So let's get to the important stuff real quick. Number one, if you are trying to take supplies in, you are not giving donations. You are giving gifts, because nothing can legally be done about giving gifts, only donations. Secondly, if you are trying to drive into an area to help someone, no, you're not. You are just trying to get in so you can assess the damage that took place at your home or properties that you own and rent out, or your summer home. Third, if you are stopped and asked to be inventory because you're trying to take supplies in, you have every right in the world to decline and say, you know what, never mind, have a great day. We're just going to turn around and go back home. It's not worth the trouble. And then you find another route in. There are multiple routes into these areas that need help, and there are people standing by ready to take the supplies up where these people need them. There's one guy on here who has a very detailed set of routes that you can take all the way from Sevierville, Tennessee into Cherokee, all the way around the map. He's got it figured out and he's got them listed, and I will put you in contact with him directly if this is something you're trying to do. Otherwise, we're just going to do a quick update of how to and who to get donations and supplies to if you're able or want to. So as of right now, it seems like the local churches are the ones in each area that are really making the efforts and are being able to get the supplies out to people. The things that are needed most are things for infants, diapers, formula, baby food. Also on the formula, you guys, Keep in mind that some babies have allergies, so we do need some non-dairy formula being sent in as well. And honestly, y'all, dairy allergies are extremely common among infants. So in all reality, if it were me buying all of the supplies, then I would only get hypoallergenic formula. Anyway, things are starting to come together. Some cleanup is starting to get done. So that is amazing. That is great. But there are still people who are stranded. There are still people who are in isolated areas. There are still people who need so much help, y'all. So please keep it coming. Keep it going. In one of my last videos, I commented on if I can get to 1,000 followers, then I'll do some kind of live stream. Most likely, since it's October and spooky season, I'll get on here and tell y'all some real spooky stories about Appalachia that are true. And every penny we make from the live stream will go directly to these people that have been affected. Otherwise, the next video I'm going to make is just going to be a quick response to everyone who's come up in my comments on my videos talking shit. And otherwise, I hope y'all have a good day. God bless.
What's going on, everybody? So I am in Asheville, North Carolina. We are walking door to door, checking on people, asking them if they need any supplies, passing out food, supplies. So yeah, we got to stick together. We got to help out our American brothers and sisters, our next door neighbors. We got to take care of home. And America is home. No matter what city you live in, if there's people in another city who needs help, if you are able to help, then please do that. But we are out here helping out.
Well, good Monday, everybody. How y'all doing today? Look, first and foremost, I want to come on here and I want everybody to keep the folks that's been in Helene's path, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Western North Carolina, East Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky, any of those areas affected. Y'all keep those folks in your earnest thoughts and prayers. We took a direct hit from Katrina about 20 years ago, and I know firsthand what it's like. And folks, if y'all are listening to me and affected in that area, y'all take it from me. Just be patient, be strong. I know it's hard, but things will get better. Just stay positive. But what I want to come on here for, and I want y'all to make this make sense to me. I've been keeping up with what's going on, and I'm looking at all the resources we have surrounding that area. And for instance, you have Fort Campbell, Kentucky, that's just to the west of there. It's home of the 101st Airborne Division. You've got numerous Black Hawk helicopters, Chinook helicopters, Little Birds. Just to the east of there, you got Fort Bragg, North Carolina, home of the 82nd Airborne Division, the 18th Airborne Corps, the 7th Special Forces groups, and numerous other entities. Just to the south of there, in Columbus, Georgia, we have the Fort Benning. We've got the 3rd Ranger Battalion right there. Folks, we have resources surrounding this area. We have active duty men and women that are trained and have the equipment needed to go in there and help these folks, to go in there and make these rescues, to go in there and deliver food and supplies to these people to help them out. And I'm not seeing it. Why aren't we using these resources that we have to help our fellow countrymen out? It seems like the right thing to do, right? You know, in my opinion, they should have been there days ago, but I just haven't seen it. So if I'm wrong, which I hope I'm wrong, y'all let me know. But if I'm not wrong, I want to know why. You know, why aren't we using these? All right, folks, there's something to dwell on today. Y'all have a good Monday. Talk to y'all later.
So to everybody that heard about all the supplies and planes that were coming from downtown Greenville Airport and flying up to North Carolina to deliver supplies, water, whatever anybody was donating and people were needing was being sent up there. Well, today it's awfully quiet, and we see these helicopters lined up, and they have a booth set up here and everything. Turns out that's FEMA. FEMA has shut down all the local donation operations that were going on and delivering supplies, and now they're saying that they're not allowed to deliver any more supplies anymore. So all these people are, unfortunately, have all these supplies but cannot take it up there. So That's our government for you. Oh, and another thing, those helicopters that have been sitting there, I've been sitting there since this morning. Haven't seen a single movement, just a bunch of impacting of important equipment and nothing happening. So I'm so sorry, North Carolina. We tried.
What's happening? We're at the airport again. Well, we're at the airport today. Yesterday, they ran like 30-something planes, a bunch of trips up to Western North Carolina, Asheville, that whole area, wherever they can land and drop off supplies. And FEMA has flown in like 10 or more helicopters and blocked a runway here at Greenville downtown. Completely took over, or almost took over the operation, just because they're doing some good here. FEMA's going to come here and try to stop it. And they took over one of the hangars over here too. We'll show you as much as we can. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, here's the helicopters that are blocking one of the runways here at Greenville downtown. All flown in by FEMA helicopter pilots. And they're just sitting there doing nothing. And you have Greenville Aviation over here taking in all kind of supplies, everything that people want to drop off. There's a huge operation going on over here. Yesterday we ran about 30-something planes, or they did, I didn't fly anything, but just putting stuff in planes, taking it up to Asheville and other areas, and they came in and halted. FEMA came in and halted all that operation. And there they are, just sitting over there, doing nothing. When there's thousands of pounds of supplies over there that could be taken, they're just sitting there doing nothing. And blocking the runway with however many helicopters.
What's up, America? This isn't a news video. This is about our government and what I'm seeing going on here in Newport, Tennessee. Let me explain. These people aren't here to help us. These people are here for greed and for control. That is it. Look, up until yesterday, we had this. As locals, we had this. We had spots set up to where you can go get food and water or shelter or clothing or whatever else you actually needed. We had churches, we had schools, we had local businesses, we had local people, we had people from all over the nation donating to us in this area. And y'all got the nerve. Y'all have the freaking nerve to come into this city and say that this all belongs to you. And y'all control all of this and confiscate all of the stuff that we have donated to these schools and to these hospitals and to these other programs and churches here locally. And you're going to come in and say that no, that we have to go through y'all and that this is y'all's control and y'all decide whether our people get the stuff that we donated for them. Y'all better stop playing.
This message is for the government and anybody else who thinks they could slow us down. You obviously don't know what kind of people we are. You ever heard the saying, come hell or high water? Well, here we are. You want to try to stop us? We'll find another way around you. Newsflash to you again. We know the mountains like the back of our hands. Those are our people. You ain't going to do jack shit. We're going to do everything we can. You want to push us? We push back harder. You don't think that's going to happen? Keep pushing us. We don't roll over. We don't back down. We will get to our brothers and sisters. Without you, we don't need you.
By now, everyone's heard about what's going on in the western part of Carolina, eastern Tennessee, Florida, Georgia. Donate. Please donate what you can. Try to find a nonprofit to donate to, a church, local PD. A lot of those are taking donations, sheriff's departments. I know my department is running a bunch of stuff to the western part of the state to help. Donate. But please do not donate to FEMA. They are hindering a lot of what people are trying to accomplish out in the western part of the state. FEMA doesn't understand that these Appalachian people are built differently. I am very familiar with them. They are not going to stand by idly and have government officials tell them what to do. FEMA's playing a game of FAFO because free men don't ask for permission. Again, please donate and help these people out. They need us now more than ever.
by fools.
We're up to more than 200 people dead from Hurricane Helene. I'm sure you saw yesterday, DHS says FEMA doesn't have enough money to last hurricane season. What's your reaction to hearing that?
Well, they're doing a very bad job. They've given over $1 billion to illegal migrants that came in, and now they have no money for North Carolina, for Georgia, for South Carolina, and Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida. I think that's a disgrace. This is a country that's being run by fools.
No, Biden did not take FEMA relief money to use on migrants. So FEMA regional administrators have been meeting with city officials on site to coordinate available federal support from FEMA and other federal agencies. Funding is also available through FEMA's emergency food and shelter program to eligible local governments and non-for-profit organizations upon request to support humanitarian relief for migrants.
And the federal relief and assistance that we have been providing has included FEMA providing $750.
So there's been some misleading reporting indicating that FEMA doesn't have enough money to see us through the Atlantic hurricane season because they've drained their emergency funds addressing the migrant crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border. Let's dive into that a little. It is true that FEMA provides federal grants to NGOs, local and state governments, non-federal entities in order to offset some of the costs associated with migrant arrivals. That reimbursement actually happens through a program called the Shelter and Services Program. But it's an entirely separate funding stream from the federal government's disaster relief fund. That's the pool of money that helps us prepare for, respond to, and ultimately recover from natural disasters, especially big ones like Hurricane Helene. But these are two separate funding streams, two separate pots of money. And by the way, both of them are authorized and funded by Congress. Now, FEMA says it has enough money to meet its immediate needs, but it could dip into the red if we see another big hurricane or two in the next couple of months. It's not the first time that the federal government has been cash-strapped when it comes to the disaster relief fund. In fact, FEMA was in the same exact spot last year. The situation only gets worse as climate-driven disasters and their recovery costs increase.
My broader question to you, I think, is about this misinformation. Do you think this is a time to put falsehoods aside, like the idea that FEMA funds are being redirected to migrants, which is just not true?
Well, it is true that FEMA and the Department of Homeland Security have been spending billions of dollars on migrants. Now, I understand some people say they're separate funds, but we just passed a short-term spending bill. It's very common for the administration to come and ask for permission to move money between funds, especially to prepare for emergencies. And second, I would note that this administration seems to have no problem finding money when they want to spend it on their priorities. When they need hundreds of billions of dollars to pay off student loans for graduate students in gender studies programs, they somehow find it. When it's trying to get helicopters to deliver food and water and cellular service and life-saving medicine into these mountain valleys, they somehow can't seem to find the money.
Sean, this is the gravest betrayal of American citizens this country has ever seen. The reason why those Americans in North Carolina, those mothers, those fathers, those precious little children, were left to die, were left on rooftops begging their government for help that never came, is because Kamala Harris turned FEMA into an illegal alien resettlement agency. Its manpower, its dollars, its resources, its mental energy was spent over the last 4 years learning how to do one thing, how to get illegal aliens from outside the country into your town. And so when disaster struck, they were not ready, they were not prepared, they were not capable, and they did not care. And our fellow citizens, including babies, children, young kids, were left to suffer and drown. They did not scramble the helicopters, they did not scramble the military, they did not send needed assistance. But if those children had been living in a foreign country, they've been living in Haiti, or they've been living in Venezuela, why then Kamala Harris would have sent in help immediately. A betrayal like we've never seen before, Sean. This is infuriating.
The Federal Emergency Management Agency has responded to rumors and misinformation circulating social media in regard to Hurricane Helene. Concerning the organization seizing property, it says, FEMA cannot seize your property or land. Applying for disaster assistance does not grant FEMA or the federal government authority or ownership of your property or land. In response to the rumor, FEMA will only be providing $750 to victims. That is false. The $750 is something called serious needs assistance to help pay for essential items like food, water, and other supplies. There are other forms of assistance victims can qualify for, such as temporary housing and home repairs. They urge those impacted to apply as soon as possible at disasterassistance.gov. Regarding not having enough funds to provide assistance for Helene, FEMA says it has enough right now for immediate response and recovery needs. They said the rumor they are asking for donations and turning away volunteers is false. Rumors about FEMA turning away donations, stopping trucks or vehicles with donations, and seizing supplies are all false. Responding to the rumor that funding for FEMA was diverted to other countries and border-related issues, FEMA says this is false and that they're funded through the Disaster Relief Fund, which is a dedicated fund for disaster efforts.
Mike Caponari? Mike, did I get that name right?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Excellent. Mike, thanks for taking some time to chat with us today. I know you've got a very busy schedule. You got a lot to do. There's some rumors going around that FEMA was going to be shutting down the private distribution of relief supplies and taking over everything. And we just wanted to kind of give you a chance to respond to that and kind of give us an idea of what is actually going on.
Yeah, hey, I appreciate it. And good evening. And I'm here right now at the JIC, the Joint Information Center, the Emergency Operations Center in Asheville, and was just talking to a colleague of mine here who was making me aware, and definitely want to say affirmatively that from the FEMA perspective, we're not in any way telling voluntary organizations, non-governmental organizations, private sector partners to stop with the distribution of aid. Quite the opposite. Across the country, whenever we have disasters, whether it's a hurricane, flooding in the Midwest, whatever it might be.
You got a lot to do. There's some rumors. Mike Caponari? Mike, did I get that name right?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Excellent. Mike, thanks for taking some time to chat with us today. I know you've got a very busy schedule. You got a lot to do. There's some rumors going around that FEMA was going to be shutting down the private distribution of relief supplies and taking over everything. And we just wanted to kind of give you a chance to respond to that and kind of give us an idea of what is actually going on.
Yeah, hey, I appreciate it. And good evening. And I'm here right now at the JIC, the Joint Information Center, the Emergency Operations Center in Asheville, and was just talking to a colleague of mine here who was making me aware, and definitely want to say affirmatively that from the FEMA perspective, we're not in any way telling voluntary organizations, non-governmental organizations, private sector partners to stop with the distribution of aid. Quite the opposite. Across the country, whenever we have disasters, whether it's a hurricane, flooding in the Midwest, whatever it might be, really some of our most important partners are those non-governmental organizations and private sector partners. I'm driving through Asheville today and saw Convoy of Hope, which is based out of Springfield, Missouri, where I'm actually from, the Region 7 office that's located in Kansas City, Missouri. And it was great to see them down here. We visited their headquarters in Springfield on multiple occasions. So I do want to just make all of your listeners aware that from our perspective, that is not the case. We are going to be developing a rumor control page for Helene, and that will not just be specific to North Carolina, but we've actually also heard this rumor kind of pop up in Tennessee as well. So we will work to get that out and just trying to get the best information out to the community so they know what is accurate and what is not accurate.
Mike, we're seeing from a lot of residents, they can't get through to FEMA. They can't get a hold of FEMA. We don't really see a large FEMA presence at all, really. Of course, we realize there's a staging area. What is the delay? I mean, we're 7 days out from this storm, and a lot of people feel like the government is leaving them high and dry.
Yeah, so the team that I am with, the National Incident Management Team, has been here since this past Monday, and we have officials here at the city of Asheville.
Hi, Patricia. I'm Glenn. This is Congressman Mills.
Hello.
How are you, ma'am?
Good.
So we're wondering, we just asked, when do you guys go door to door? He was telling that
After we get the general stuff done, you know, we got to hit the mass people first, wherever the mass people are. So the mass people are here. Let's get them into the system as quickly as possible. Once we get the masses done, then we start going door to door.
Okay. How do people know you're here?
We just got here.
Oh, you just got here?
We were here yesterday.
Yeah.
And today's our first day with this unit.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow we're going to move the unit up by the car wash.
Oh. So
yesterday we couldn't do anything besides give them the information because we didn't have any Wi-Fi.
Right.
I will say, and this is just someone we got lucky enough, Glenn actually spotted it before I did, but I think even having this vehicle more towards the front of the road where people even know that it exists, for visibility, with people coming by, might actually.
Yeah, we were in a van with 8 people. I was the only one that saw it.
Exactly right.
No, that's what we're going to do. That's
Good.
what we got to do. We just needed a temporary spot to turn around and get things up and running.
Yeah,
and the guy that's running this facility here, I spoke with the manager here. He said this would be a good spot. The guy that's running the parking lot, who's a different guy, I didn't know that. He said the car wash would be better, and I was like, boy, that's really smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Good.
that's where we're going to be set up tomorrow.
Good.
And we should be doing registrations. We'll be here between 9 and 10. We're all coming in from Charlotte. He'll be here a little bit earlier. And then we'll start tearing down about 5 o'clock so that we can get out of here.
Great.
Because we don't necessarily go door to door. Not my cadre anyways. There's 23 different cadres.
Oh, I know. I understand how the bureaucratic levels of departments work.
Yeah. So
they don't always work fair together.
Yeah, we concentrate in getting people into the system so that we can get them financial assistance right away.
Love that.
And it's happening like that.
Good.
Are you guys recording me?
Yeah, he's filming. Yeah, over here.
Okay.
He's filming us.
So, you know, one of the first things that are coming out is special needs assistance.
Right.
And that's just a little bit of into the account. People are going to think automatically that that's all they're going to get. No, that's not the case. That's just the beginning. That is just the beginning, because then there's going to be another much larger drop, and then there's going to be other things. But we still have to go through and verify the damages that have been done.
Yeah.
You know, and that you own the house and that you are the renter.
So that you can limit the amount of fraud, which we've seen in other areas.
We got it. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We are all from different parts of the United States. I'm from Montana.
I'm from Florida.
Are you really?
Florida.
I'm from Texas.
Oh, golly gee. Where are you guys from? Where are you guys from?
I'm from Tennessee. I'm working out.
Today's their official
What
first
a
day.
bunch of bullcrap that was.
They got here yesterday, official first day. They're tucked away, almost hiding.
No, she's where the masses are. She's where the masses are.
Don't worry. 9 to 5.
Well, but again, though, it still hasn't answered the question, which is that
Adam was saying effective as he was up.
Yeah.
No, she was up. She's where the masses are. Can't you see the masses lined up? They're not even in the right side of the parking lot. You want to be where the masses are, you put up signs at least, or your stupid little table in front of where the food is.
Well, but
Then
when?
she said,
but then you question, you said when? He goes, well, that's above my head.
Yeah, and then so let me talk to my manager. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
And then the manager said, no, we don't go door to door. I don't know when that happens. That's a different department. Oh my God.
You're kidding.
No.
That's exactly what was said.
No. It was that is
when Glenn went silent, I knew he was done with this.
I
nonsense.
was done from the very beginning.
I
could see these guys.
But again, though, if you wouldn't have even spotted them, Glenn.
I know, good eye.
Who knows that they were back here? And again, my recommendation I thought was pretty common sense, which is, hey, for more visibility, maybe you put yourself on the main road.
Yeah.
You want to serve the quote-unquote masses. Let's go ahead and get mass visibility.
Look, the food and the stuff is down there. Their truck, which just looks
Hiding
like a
back here.
it doesn't have a sign, hey, register for money, register for help. Just a communications truck.
Right.
And 2 people sitting at the table.
If you saw that, would you know that you're signed up for FEMA assistance?
I have no idea.
Wow, that's the sign up for FEMA assistance?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
You found it.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No way.
That's
put
what they're
themselves in the quiet corner in the back.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
And you ready? They said, we said, how do people know? Well, they're watching TV and they're listening to
It's
radio.
up to the
They don't
media.
have homes.
That's what they literally said.
It's up to the
I said,
media
so let me
to
get this
tell them.
straight.
Sup, TikTok.
Sup, TikTok.
So, had a guy saying that FEMA people was trying to stop truckers from going in and all that.
They can't stop me. I'm a special breed of truck driver, you know what I mean? I don't I ain't always been a truck driver. So when they say I can't go into FEMA areas, oh yes I can.
We say you can.
When they say, oh, you got to be certified, and you got to be certified emergency hazmat response.
Okay.
And hazmat response team and all that shit, you know? I can do that too. Oh my God, what does that say? Oh my goodness. And then, oh, well, you got to have state police training. Oh my God, hazardous materials. Oh my
Can't keep
God.
real help from helping you.
They ain't gonna stop me. I'm gonna keep coming. I ain't just a dumb truck driver.
He's an educated truck driver.
I'm an educated truck driver. We've not always been just drivers. Though I've done it for the last 20 years. I've also done other things to protect myself in case I couldn't drive no more. And Mama's been there the whole time.
Rooting for him the whole way, pushing him. Because there's gonna come a time and a day where all drivers' careers will end on this road. If you ain't had a backup plan, I love you anyway, I'm sorry. You should have.
True. You gotta have a backup plan. So, I've got plenty of backup plans. I got a whole book of certifications. I got an associate's degree in criminal law. I get bored very easily, as you can tell. That's why I do these videos. I get freaking bored. But anyway, we're loaded up again, and we headed back down. And we're gonna find some churches, and we're gonna find some food banks, and we're gonna drop this load of water. And I think half water and half is non-perishable food. And we're gonna keep on until the people of North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and East Tennessee are back to normal. And if they get in our way, they're gonna make my kids come out, and I'm gonna motherfucker. They ain't gonna stop me. Ain't they right, mamas?
Ain't gonna stop us.
Like I said, we got y'all's back. I know y'all have ours. And
they have.
We got to get going because our clock's done started. So later, TikTok.
Later, peeps.
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, stop!
Hi everybody, I'm Kristen Armour. I am a volunteer with Greater Good Charities. I'm out here with the field operations team, helping those impacted by Hurricane Helene, and just want to give you an update of a pretty amazing thing that just happened. We're out buying hundreds of pounds of dog food that we're going to go distribute to those up in North Carolina whose pets have been impacted by the hurricane. And we ran into a lady who saw our shirts, saw the carts of dog food, wanted to know what was happening, and once she knew the story, she immediately wanted to pay for some of the dog food. And just wanted to say thank you, Mary. Big shout out to Mary and all of those who are supporting Greater Good so that we can go out and help those impacted by the hurricane.
To here,
right?
Packages delivered up there, so I had to go back.
Oh my God, guys! I want y'all to check this out. Look at this. You want to talk about a blessing? This is a blessing. This lady right here and her husband were coming back through West Virginia, got all this water and brought it here to us. There's 30 cases of water there.
It's donation drop-off day. We are so thrilled at the number of donations that came in. I cannot thank you guys enough. And there's little Ella taking a nap and us dropping everything off. And a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart to everybody.
My nonprofit sponsors over 1,500 kids for Christmas in the Eastern Tennessee area. This last week, we were hit with a tropical storm that did a lot of damage. And because of that, I've been thinking a lot about my Christmas project this year and how there are a lot more families that are going to need our love and support. And people don't really think about toys for kids because they think about basic necessity, things that you need to survive, but they don't really think about the joy that a toy would bring when you're in an emergency like this. My thought was, instead of sponsoring just 1,500 kids this year, let's make it 10,000. 10,000 is a really crazy, scary, big number for me, but I know that TikTok can make it happen. It's not too big for God. If we all band together, we can do it. If you'd like to help me, I have a wish list in my bio. TikTok is probably gonna flag this video because I said bio. I don't really care. But if you guys could share this and repost it, that would be awesome. It helps my videos get spread more. If you could watch this video all the way through, that would also be amazing. If 40,000 people saw this and just bought one thing off the wish list, we would have plenty to spare for every kid in need. Gifts are even under $5 and some gifts are closer to 20, but it just depends on what you can spare, what you can spend. And please share this with everybody you know, interact with it, just do all the things and make sure that it gets spread.
Look him. He done got the Uber to drop him off, come get one of these elusive Columbia showers, and I want to take my car and drive through the door. Look at this. Now, Planet Fitness. Come on. Come on.
He tried it.
The whole city in chaos. We need you, Planet Fitness. No judgment, but we need you.
Good afternoon. I'm First Warning Meteorologist Brooke Silvering. We have breaking news. Hurricane Milton has developed in the Gulf of Mexico and is expected to continue to strengthen into a major hurricane before approaching Florida's west coast.
We begin tonight with a live look from Florida as residents brace for Hurricane Milton. I mean, you can see it is bumper to bumper traffic on northbound 75 right now as hundreds of thousands of people evacuate their homes. And we've just learned that authorities will start closing airports in the Tampa area tomorrow. You know, it has only been 11 days since Hurricane Helene made landfall.
Sad to know that these people are literally drying out, cleaning out.
They are.
And here comes another one.
Here comes another one.
Jake, it's still sitting 100 miles south and west of Tampa, but the winds are just so wide. We now have a Category 3 hurricane. It's got winds at 125 miles per hour at its center. So it is still a major hurricane. And don't let the category number fool you. We have these tropical storm force winds that stretch 310 miles. This has more than doubled the size from what it was yesterday.
Hurricane Milton is now making landfall. Let's now take a look down at Sarasota, where conditions are worsening by the minute.
In North Fort Myers, a horrific sight in the rising waters.
Oh, that was a big alligator just bit our tire.
An alligator emerging from the floodwaters, biting at this car's tires.
Wow, that was cool. Yes, you did. Wow, that was a big too. Oh my God, I wanted to go get him. Oh my God. That was really deep right there. All right. Oh, that was a big.
Oh my goodness.
Holy shit. Look at it all coming.
That car just stalled out. Looks like it's not moving now. Hopefully they will get out of their car and get to a safe area as soon as possible. And we've actually been seeing some people swimming through the area. Alligators swimming through the area. I thought I'm listening to my producer in my ear here, and they've seen some alligators passing by. So this is another reason why you don't want to get into this mess. I mean, my friend likes to call it Jurassic Florida.